Canada's food and agriculture sector is facing a new threat.
Is Canada's food supply safe from cyber attacks?
No.
Farmers worried about dangers lurking online.
I don't fully understand what I should be doing. There's definitely a big trust thing.
The nation's food supply, the target of malware launched by Russian-based hackers.
That's the reality of what we are facing.
Wow, like internal company logs.
This is the hidden geopolitical game behind what we eat.
So she's allowed to have 3 liters, and then it will put up an alarm to me if she isn't drinking her milk.
And what would happen if this machine went down?
The cows would have no food, and that would be a big problem.
Chris McLaren's family has been farming this stretch of land in southern Ontario for 160 years. He still keeps the farm's first motorized tractor, a W4 International, bought decades ago. But now, with more than 100 dairy cows and 500 acres of land, McLaren feels like he needs to take advantage of the boom in new high-tech agricultural tools.
I think as farms get bigger and bigger, moving towards technology allows you to manage the cattle better with less time spent and more consistently and accurately with automation and those sorts of technologies.
McLaren's combine is GPS guided and cloud connected to distribute fertilizer more efficiently. His milk machine measures how much each cow should be producing. A computer model determines what and how much his herd should be eating. Just about everywhere you look, there is a machine that automates the hardest tasks on McLaren's farm.
Speaking of automation, what's happening behind us here, Chris?
That's a feed pusher that's pushing feed up. We name our technology. So that feed pusher, his name is Fred. He pushes feed up 8 times a day, and we don't have to do that with shovels and scrapers.
Being connected means trusting the companies supplying the new technology, and they are becoming a prime target for hackers.
Farming is unlike a lot of other businesses, because it's not only we're making a living here, but we're caretakers for animals. When somebody can hack in and shut down machines that is putting the welfare of those animals at risk, not able to feed the calves or not able to milk the cow, that's not just financially concerning, that's ethically concerning.
Being connected also means trusting agriculture companies to protect McLaren's data.
I don't fully understand what I should be doing either. I just talk to the companies and ask, and they assure me everything's fine. But I'm beginning to learn a lot more that scares me more, more than helps me perhaps.
McLaren has reason to be worried. A growing number of companies in the food and agriculture sector have been hit by ransomware attacks, a list that includes big names like Sobeys and Maple Leaf Foods, as well as farm veterinarians and other small businesses. Intelligence officials say there have been 13 attacks on the sector this year alone, though the true number is likely higher because so many go unreported. These attacks can cost companies millions, be it in ransom or repairs, but they can also have serious downstream effects. In June, a major food supplier in Western Canada called Federated Co-Operatives was hit by a ransomware attack, resulting in empty shelves at hundreds of grocery stores for several weeks.
Every day, 6 million pounds of produce exchanges hands here at the Ontario Food Terminal. It's where grocery stores and restaurants buy fruit and vegetables grown at farms across Ontario. It's part of the complex supply chain that delivers food to your table. But what would happen if one of the links in this chain were to be the victim of a cyber attack? Is Canada's food supply safe? Is it secure from cyber attacks?
No.
Ryan Westman is Director of Threat Intelligence at the cybersecurity firm eCentire.
When it comes to agriculture, their business and what they're focusing on is harvesting food and creating crops, right? They don't necessarily have that business model to support an IT team.
We wanted to see exactly which ransomware groups were claiming credit for the cyber attacks on Canadian agriculture. So, using a secure internet connection, we accessed what's known as the dark web, where ransomware groups leak stolen data when victims refuse to pay. On one site, we found driver's licenses, work permits, and insurance information of employees at a dairy data firm called Lactanet. On another site, we found client information of a veterinarian who serves pig and dairy farms in Ontario.
What does it feel like to be on the dark web?
Yeah, it feels a little creepy. Definitely like you're seeing things that people go to great lengths to keep private, and here it is all available.
And then we found the group who says they were behind the hack at Federated Co-ops.
So here on the Akira ransomware site, there's a note dated July 8th, which says, Federated Co-ops is a cooperative that supports other cooperatives that serve people in Western Canada. 80 gigabytes of data will be available for downloading here soon. Numerous HR files with employee data, confidential business files, financials, clients' information.
Cybersecurity experts believe Akira is based in Russia and was formed by hackers in a group that had ties with the Russian security service. In fact, most of the known ransomware attacks against the Canadian food and agriculture sector have been claimed by cybercrime groups believed to be based in Russia. We reached out to several companies and organizations who were attacked, including Lactanet and Federated Co-ops, but they all declined to comment. Canadian intelligence officials have warned decision makers about the threat posed by Russian-based hackers. Sami Khoury leads a branch of Canada's cyber spy agency.
These ransomware groups operate with somewhat impunity from the Russian mainland in a way, and that is sanctioned by the Russian government. So that's the reality of what we are facing. We have been concerned about cyber activities that Russia has used in Ukraine, and the risk of these malicious code or malicious malware to make its way into Canada.
Khoury says everyone in the agriculture sector, from big corporations to family farms, should consider themselves a potential target.
Canada has a huge agriculture space, and we invest a lot in research too, so the combination of the two could be an attractive target to a foreign state actor.